All right, so let's do a little styling on our header. First thing I'm going to do is let's give it give our header some height. We'll set it to 100 pixels. Now, we can put in content, and if our content has 5 lines, our header will expand to fit the 5 lines. Or if we have an image or whatever, it will expand. But now that I'm giving it a height, I'm setting a fixed height for it. It is exactly 100 pixels, and it will always be 100 pixels. Let's do a width as well. Let's set this width. Let's do 910. That, refresh. Now look what happens. Now my header only takes up 910 pixels. But remember, my container was 960 pixels. So before I was expanding, my header was expanding to fill the width that the container gave it. And the container's got a background color of white, so we can see it there. We can see white because our header is only taking up that much room. My header, you know, those words are crammed up against there, even though it's not like formal content. It's just kind of placeholder content. Let's give some padding to our header. And I'm going to give it, I'll give it 20 pixels. And I'm purposely not doing what I want to do. Now you can look, the width of my header is 910 pixels, plus I did 20 pixels of padding, and I specified one number, so that means top, right, left, and bottom all have 20 pixels of padding on them. So you can see my header is slightly bigger now, but it's still not quite as big as my background. So when you do this, you have to understand that all those things we talked about in the box model take space. So my parent container is 960 pixels. I have a width of 910 pixels plus 20 pixels of padding on the left and 20 pixels of padding on the right. That's a total of 950 pixels, which means I have 10 pixels left over here. So the child elements, in this case, header is a child element of the container, need to add up to the same thing if you don't want to see weird things going on. So your borders, your margins, and your paddings on left and right all get added to the width of your content. And since my container is 960, that's what they should all add up to. 20 left, 20 right, plus 910. So I'll just put, I don't want to do margins right now. So I'll do 25 pixels. So now we have 25 left, 25 right, that's 50, plus 910 is 960 pixels. My header should fill up its parent container now. So there's my header section. We're going to leave it right there. I'm not sticking any content in right now. I am just showing you. And this one we learned how to use height and width, and we know that our widths need to add up to the parent container. So all these sections, as we do our page layout down here, we have to pay attention to their widths to make sure that ultimately they add up to 960 pixels, because we're on a fixed width layout. When I get smaller or bigger, the width of our page and its layout does not change. That's why this is called a fixed layout. There we go. And so we'll start looking at our nav section next.